Trigger warnings, possible infidelity, denial of parental rights. My ex-girlfriend might have lied to me about our baby not being mine. Rose and I were together for 4 years, from our last year at school until just after university. I loved her very much and genuinely thought I would marry her. However, we were very much not in a place to have a child. We had previously discussed the matter and agreed that we were both okay with termination if it came to it. 6 years ago, she became pregnant. She broke down when she told me, 4 months in, and admitted that she had cheated on me and that the baby wasn't mine. I immediately ended the relationship, and she moved home to have the baby. It crushed me, as this was totally out of the blue and utterly unlike her. And she refused to provide many details, and the whole situation just seemed vague and off. Recently, Rose's father passed away, and my mother attended the funeral. While there, she commiserated with Rose, who was there with her husband and daughter, who, according to my mother, is visibly biracial and has a striking resemblance to me. How do I even begin to bring this up with her? I feel like I have to, but I have no idea where to even start. I don't want to be a dad, but I also don't want to just abandon some kid that might be mine. I also feel like I've moved on enough to be ready for closure and to actually address the whole matter with Rose. The breakup happened in such a rush, and she moved away before I felt able to address the topic in any kind of rational, logical way. The options are that she cheated on me and became pregnant with someone else's child. She cheated on me and has lied to me about her pregnancy. Or she just made up the whole scenario for some effing reason. Help. Edit. Rose got in touch with me. She asked my mother for my phone number and texted me to ask whether I would be free to have a call with her this week. I passed on commiserations for her father and told her to call me anytime this week outside of work hours. Relevant comments. Fun Yellow 6576. You do nothing. You don't want to be a dad. Rose didn't want the child to be yours. Leave it be. OP, it's been 6 years, and I've grown up a lot. I respect that this child has another father figure in their life at this point. But, for example, I have adopted cousins who have gone looking for their biological parents, with full respect to their adoptive parents, and found it very rewarding. I guess I want to make sure Rose knows that if her child ever wants to speak to me, I'm open to it. Ideally, my family would like to know their first grandchild. In the future, the child might like to know her culture. If I ever have children, I would want them to know about their half-sister. At a minimum, Rose never gave me the chance to change my mind the way she changed hers, and she might have chosen to lie to me about cheating on me and genuinely shook up how I deal with relationships for a long time. The commentator asks about looking from the ex's perspective and allowing her to have her choices. OP, I do understand that's her perspective. She was put in a position where perhaps she could only see options that hurt me, her, and the child, or options that only hurt me. Maybe that is the case. Maybe she chose the best of a bad set of options. But she still hurt me, lied to me, and hid my own child from me. And I think being hurt and confused and looking for answers is still a valid response. If she had been honest with me, she could have ended up in the same place, with a new partner, with a lovely little daughter, living where she pleased, and with a bit of support, financial or otherwise, from a version of me that wasn't in therapy for 2 years over the things she lied to me about. Update. Lots of people were asking for an update on my last post, so here we go. The kid is 100% mine. I'm going to call her Daisy for this post. I've met her a few times, and she's a really cute, lovely little kid. I am enjoying getting to know her. Although, of course, I am sad that I missed out on so much of her development and so many firsts. I'm also sad she hasn't had my influence, as every father would hope to influence their child. For example, she understands some Polish because of her stepfather's family, whereas I grew up in a house where the elders spoke Creole. I wish she could have been able to explore her heritage from birth, but now she can choose whether she wants to do so, which is also exciting. She also strongly resembles me as a child, which is strange but nice. My mother says she is spitting an image of her aunt, so we have been showing Daisy some family photos, which she seems to enjoy. My ex, Rose, is doing a great job of raising her. I want to stress that. Rose behaved badly in our relationship, but she is a wonderful mother. I'm going to get to know Daisy a bit better over time, with a view to having her eventually spend summer or winter vacation with me, if she wishes to, when she is a little bit older. Rose and her husband are also going to bring her to meet my mom when they are in our hometown, so Daisy can get to know her biological grandmother if she wants. Rose is married to a very decent guy, who clearly adores Daisy. To answer a question I got in quite a few DMs, the husband is white, Rose is white, and I am black, so it was fairly obvious that Daisy was not his biological child. However, he is very obviously her daddy. We are getting along well, and he is supportive of me getting to know Daisy. Now, the hard part. Rose has apologized repeatedly for her actions. She says she did not cheat on me, and I have come to believe her. However, the lie still hurts. She has explained that this is something that has weighed heavily on her, and she knew she would have to address it eventually. I have not forgiven her, but we are moving past it as best we can. We are both in therapy, and are considering doing some therapy as a unit to make sure we are healthy co-parents for Daisy. I have called her out and will continue to call her out. This has not been one conversation, but a long series of talks to understand one another's positions. Her explanation was that she knew if I knew she was pregnant and wanted to keep the baby, I would have given up on the life I wanted to have in order to support her. Instead, she broke up with me and moved home, where her father supported her until she had Daisy. But despite the sadness of this situation, I am in a good place in life now and relatively successful. Perhaps she is right. I would not have managed to do this if we'd had a baby at our young age, but I still wish she would have given me the choice to say yes or no. However, what is done is done. There is some stuff I do not want to mention, even on an anonymous forum like Reddit, which gives me further context and understanding for Rose's actions. Apologies for the anticlimax or for leaving that out, but it wouldn't feel right. Rose and her husband are currently declining to accept child support from me, saying they earn enough to raise Daisy without it. They have not made access to Daisy contingent in any way on money or anything else. I am going to check with a lawyer to determine whether this is something they will be able to pursue me for in the future and to explore the legalities of instead placing such money into a trust for Daisy's use as an adult or perhaps for college. I think that's everything. It's not as dramatic as I know people were hoping, so I'm sorry. But I think everyone in the situation is doing their best. TLDR, all is well, and that ends well. Relevant comments. Rogue1206, this sounds like all of you are handling this beautifully. If I may make a suggestion, even though they are declining child support, set the child support money aside in an account just for Daisy. When she turns 18, boom, one hell of a graduation gift. We started an account for my daughter when she was born. It's an interest-bearing account, so it's just going to grow with her. It will either help with her higher education or a down payment on a house in 11 years. I hope, but at least it's something. OP, great idea. I am looking at establishing a trust in case anything should happen to me in the next 10, 15 years, but an interest-bearing account is also a good thought. I will raise it with the lawyer at my consultation next week. Thank you for watching the video.